Yeah, and I'm honestly so glad that have you here in this podcast since the last time I met you at the Dario's birthday. I don't know, was it Jimeno Dario's birthday party at the Adani House?
Yeah,
We had a really great conversation.
yeah,
We
thank you.
had the chat about the Miramichi fire and the other stuff, and I realized you're great. Like the way that you have stories behind, and when I get to know more about you, I realized you were working at many other stuff that I would really want to go have this podcast with you and we can have this conversation. I would make sure that many students on this uh, industry can take a lot of benefit from this podcast. People who are animation students or people who are even in Miramichi, they can see all the great talent we have here in
Oh,
Miramichi. So
yeah,
thank you for accepting my
yeah.
invitation for this podcast.
Well, it's my pleasure and my honor to be here because I really when we had our discussion, it was really nice to meet you and talk about our backgrounds and this was a great opportunity for us to continue our conversation together and talk about um, animation in general because that's where my passion is. My whole life has been dedicated to the art of animation ever since I was a little boy. I loved to draw, and that was something that I feel was, you know, a gift too. But you can be given a gift, but you really need to work hard at it. And I think that when Alex invited me to take
Yeah.
part in your show, I thought, oh, what a great opportunity!
Mm.
Like, so thank you for asking me. Like, I'm glad you chose me.
Of
So,
course, yeah, it's always my pleasure having, especially new people. We just get to know each other like last month, and I was keep thinking of you to have this on this podcast because of your background experience and your passion about this industry and anything else. Like one of the questions, because the way that you introduce yourself, it came to my mind. You have a lot of passion in this industry. Not many people have this type of passion to their career. They are choosing some careers and they don't like what they are doing, but
mm-hmm,
it seems like you really love what you are doing.
mm-hmm,
And so like one of my questions, so as you said, you are in the animation industry, right? And
mm-hmm.
one of my question was about, before we go a little bit about your like personal lifestyle, I want to start really back into your childhood. What was happening? What was the animation that you saw that you decided to start going into this career? Do you remember anything back then? That
Oh yes.
where does it start
Oh
exactly?
well. Um, One thing I really loved to do when I was a kid is um, my mother would bring home the groceries, mom and dad, and I would take the paper bags and from and lay them out on the floor and sit in front of the TV and draw like characters and things from while I was watching Saturday morning cartoons.
How old were you?
I was just a little well that was kind of uh I that was in my early years like 3 4 5 like because that was kind of something I really like to do. On a Saturday I wouldn't go out of the house until the cartoons were over, and
Okay.
then yeah, I would get up, and one of my favorite shows on Sunday was The Wonderful World of Disney.
Oh,
So it didn't matter what we're doing. If uh, you know, I would run home and watch those shows, and I I would take comic books and pin them to the windows and trace them off, and those things really helped because muscles have memory,
right.
and all of those activities kind of really started me on the right path with drawing. But one thing in particular that really helped me was this little device. It was like a ViewMaster that you could turn, um, and it had the Lonesome Ghosts, and it was a Mickey Mouse cartoon that where they were going into this haunted house and investigating ghosts, and I could turn that back and forth and study that frame by frame. And I would, every chance I would get, I would go and take that and look through that.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the first animated film that really got me hooked was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And
Okay.
here in Chatham, there used to be the Vogue Theater,
Okay.
and on Saturdays and Sundays they used to have matinees, and so back then we the kids in town would all gather like at the theater and watch all kinds of matinees,
Okay.
and when Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was on, the witch scared me so bad that I hid behind one of the like one of the chairs.
Wow.
So that's how powerful that film was. And
Okay.
yeah, and yeah, so it's kind of, it's sort of the one that still
Right.
resonates with me. So
Well, that's really cool that you were saying that you were watching a lot of like a Disney movie, Disney animations, and then you ended up even working for Disney, Walt Disney, right?
yeah.
So when did you start your career at Walt Disney, or were you working anywhere else before that, or
Uh,
how was your process in this journey? And what did you study also at the university or something about this progress, or
oh yeah, yeah,
explain?
yes. So there, it was a little tough. Back then, there wasn't as many programs in the high schools uh, like they have now. They have some wonderful programs in the high schools now, like that are art related.
Okay, yeah.
But there wasn't, so there was a little bit of a stigma that if you were going to get into art, you're going to be starving. So 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 I was not really encouraged to go in that direction. So it was I was often kind of bored with some of the subjects that I was, being taught. And I had, good teachers and while I was growing up, and I did actually have some great lessons from uh, during elementary school. Uh, Mr. Nason would come to the classes and things like that. So those were nice. But uh, when I did get into animation, the first big move was to um, go to a school, and it was Sheridan College. And at that time, NBCC Miramichi didn't have
Okay.
an animation program, so it would have been a lot easier and closer to home for
Right.
me to go there for sure. And so I couldn't get it in at first, but I um, decided that I would go up there. I had to be a resident for a year before I could get in, and I jumped on the train and went up and got a job selling meat out of the back of a truck for a year and worked on my portfolio until I could finally get accepted. And I had an interview with a person who became my mentor, and that was Charlie Bonifacio. And during the interview to get in, he asked me a few questions because I was working so hard to get in that I was doing all kinds of animation exercises from this book called Animation from Script to Screen. And when he interviewed me to get in, he I was telling him about all the things that uh, I learned in the book, and he said, "Well, what's left for us to teach you?" Kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? But it was kind of a tricky questions. But I said, after going through all that, I realized how little I actually know, right? And so that was it. And Charlie Bonifacio is has he was definitely a real inspiration to me. And he was the lead animator on Mushu on Milan, and he was did all kinds of great things. And
Yeah.
so he was one of my instructors at Sheridan. But before I graduated, uh, there was an opportunity to possibly work for Disney,
Okay.
and it was a 3-year program, and I wasn't even the I was not the best in the class at all. There was 160 students, and it was
160.
yeah,
Wow.
and it was divided up into like 4 smaller classes,
Okay.
and maybe no, sorry, 120 maybe. So um, the, when that opportunity came, uh, they had recruiters to come in, and since I was struggling, I didn't think that I would have an opportunity to meet with those recruiters. And Wayne Gilbert, who was also became another mentor of mine, right? To uh, gave me the opportunity to meet with the recruiters, and um, I said, "Do you think I'm ready for this?" And I didn't think I was. And he said to me, he said, "If I didn't think you were ready, I wouldn't have bothered to introduce you to." And he said to me, "You're the hardest worker I know," and that meant so much to me, because I I I didn't think about how hard I was working on everything. I was pumping gas while while I was going to school. I was um, uh, I was working security on the campus, and I was doing all kinds of other things just to kind of get myself
Yeah.
through school and stuff. And so that meant a lot to me, that somebody, you know,
Trusted you.
it was based on your hard work. So I took the opportunity, and I had I went down, and they gave me a test. So I took the test home, and worked on it. And a week later, I called them and said I was ready. And when I called them, they said, "Are you sure? You can have some more time if you need it." And I thought, no, I like I because I didn't think I had a chance to get in anyway. But I thought the sooner I get the feedback on it, at least I'll learn something from it,
Right.
and so I went down, and I had the interview, and they they were kind of flipping through some of my work, and um, there was recruiter there, and all of a sudden the conversation turned from what Disney was all about to them kind of make an offer,
Yeah.
and I was ready to say yes right on the spot, but I I decided that I should probably, before I open my mouth, think about this. So I just said, "Thank you very much. Just give me a little time to think about this." And then I got on the elevator, and as soon as the elevator door closed, I started dancing. So yeah,
That's
and not very well. I
yeah.
still can't do it. but yeah, so I did accept it, and um, that I kind of took the traditional way of starting, like Chuck Jones, for example, started out in between, and you're at the bottom of the ladder,
Yeah.
and you work your way up. But being at the bottom rung of the top ladder is a pretty good place to start,
Yep.
right? So I thought did me I did mind being at the bottom of the top. So
Yeah.
so
It's great.
so I had some like really intensive training uh, there before I was even given my first scene, and that's yeah. So
That's amazing.
I
It kind of reminded me myself when I came to like Miramichi, the way that you said someone trusted you and he became your mentor and he introduced you to Disney, and it's very nice because we as a immigrant and a newcomer, they said never forget two people. The first person pick you up from the airport and the first person help you to find a job. Because
yes,
in Canada, at least here, the job is everything. Like
yeah,
you can the day that you don't have a job is you are nothing. The day after that you have a job, you have everything. You are of a good life, you have a good process, you can see improvement on you, so you have hope. So the first time when I came here in Ramishi, it was a great, it's a very nice story. So I brought when we were we I rented a house here in Chatham, in front of the hospital, and so we were started cleaning the house. My brother was here, my mom was here helping me out, and while we were cleaning, I broke the tap water, and we called someone, a plumber, to come fix it. And while the plumber was there, we had the conversation together. I said, yeah, I came from Iran, I came here, I'm studying electrical construction, and looking for companies to getting to know them, and I love to like work for free for them and volunteer for them. At the same time, I want them to just like teach me and let me know more, so we can exchange my hours and my work. They can teach me their knowledge. And right away he called my boss, who is already the same company I'm working at. I'm trying to remember the. It's been a while. I didn't talk to him. I forget the name of the plumber. But I would, I would bring his name if I remember it. So he called my boss right that time, and he said, yeah, there's a guy here. He studied electrical. He's looking for someone to work for free. Do you want to like a free person to work for you?" And the guy was saying, "Yes, why not?" But I start getting having a conversation with Corey, who was like my current manager,
Hmm.
and whenever even where I was going work for him, he was never letting me work for free for him. He was always like, "Pay me." He said, "If you have a hard work, it's okay. We will hire you even after the graduation." So I found a job. I fixed like my career after graduation, right after my graduation, and it helped a lot that when somebody trust you, or like you know you, and even if they don't know you, they can like introduce you, just it's just an introduction to someone else. And it changed my life. It's 3 years I'm working same company, Blue Energy. I don't know why I don't remember the name of that company, that
Oh,
plumbing
that
company.
I'm sure that'll come to you
Yeah,
too.
I'm kind of
Yeah,
under pressure
yeah,
right now.
yeah.
That's
So
cool story that you
yeah,
said
yeah,
about like how you get into the Walt Disney.
yeah.
And what was happening like after that? How many years you were at working at the Walt Disney? And I don't know if you have really cool like a story when you were working at Walt Disney, and then we can move on a little bit to your next career here at NBCC
Okay.
Miramichi.
Yeah, yeah. That's well, um you kind of got me thinking about another little story
Okay.
beforehand too, about getting in, because I I met a couple that, like, one thing I had to do before getting into the school was to have a portfolio ready, and I didn't really know what that meant, and life drawings and all these requirements that I needed to have uh, put together. So there was a kind elderly couple that owned an art studio in Oakville, Ontario, and they like offered to let me use their studio upstairs, because I went and asked them questions, and I offered to shovel the snow from them, do some work for them around, and so we kind of bartered, so that I would do help them,
Yeah.
and they would let me use their studio upstairs, and be critical of my portfolio, and they were, and that helped me to get that prepared. So that was, that was good, and school was, I did struggle while I was there. I worked hard at it, but it was all, I had to unlearn things that I thought I knew. And when I started at Disney, it's the same thing. Like, you have to really dig in and push yourself. And I signed a 5-year contract with Disney, and we started out in the TD. Oh,
It's okay.
oh
We can
no,
pause.
that's not. I'm so sorry.
No, it's
Can we
okay.
pause this?
No, you don't pause it. We will fix it later.
Oh,
We
okay.
can just sit here.
Oh no. Okay.
No, it's all right. Yeah, you were saying.
Yeah. How do?
No, we just put it back up here.
Okay. Can we edit that out?
No worries. Yeah,
I
sorry, you were saying.
I forgot to tell you before we started the podcast that I'm an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's that's one thing too. So that certainly throws off. So
Can I say something here?
sure.
Because I know we have like some targets of, or like if not target or audiences would be some of your student or people who want to come into this industry or study. It's very great that you mentioned that you were offering a little side work, traveling some of the stuff, because it's it's very small. At the same time, it's very important to the employer, because some of the employer, the background information that they have from some employees, they are not working enough, or they are escaping work, they try to go back home earlier. That's what their mindset is mostly about, like about the employee. But whenever someone offer a little bit extra help, they will feel like they totally change that mindset. They said, this guy is not one of those, he want to even work more than what we want.
Mhm.
He's not trying to come here on time, go home on time. Like, they try to, it's when you just offer something a little bit small, it totally changed their mindset about you, and they will like have different background mindset about you, and they will love that. But another thing I would just want to say for beginning of this podcast, since we are at the beginning, we usually have like a really time limit of this podcast. We usually have a 25 to 30 minute at the beginning for our first 10 episode. After that, we want to like keep increasing the time to go up like 40 and 1 hour. But I believe this have to be a conversation going until we still, the conversation is hot and we are enjoying it. But for now, you were telling me about like the Walt Disney. Can we move on a little bit about, because I have a lot of questions about the students and your career as an NBCC instructor.
Absolutely.
We can, if we talk about that, would be amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So uh, we'll skip to that part. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You can continue that if
That,
you want. Yeah, it's okay.
yeah. No, that's okay. So we're we're
You're good.
you can edit this
Yeah.
little.
Yeah. Yeah. Good.
Okay. Yeah. Um, is it that kind of threw me a little bit there too, but
Exactly. I should have put it like all the way back. The first time it was right down in the
yeah.
center. My editor said,
Okay.
don't put
Yeah.
it there, put it back there." I said, it's not visible. Yeah, the next time we can move it. I have that beautiful sun back of my side.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next time we move it somewhere else.
Well, you can put it in the bloopers reel.
Yeah.
It's true.
Uh,
We might have bloopers at the end of the season.
bloopers reel. Yeah, I'll be the star of your bloopers reel.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
So when did you, like, I can ask you this question, maybe keep bring you back into the track.
Yeah.
So when did you start after the Disney? Did you had any other work, or you after that you decided to become a teacher, or
Okay. Well, I left Disney because um, the studio in Canada. I was at Walt Disney Animation Canada. They have studios everywhere, and that they were closing the studio down, and so everybody that was working in the studio were moving on to other things. So I went from there to Halifax, and I got a job as a senior layout posing artist, um, working for Helix Animation, which was a company that was partly owned by another studio in Ottawa called Funbag at the time.
Yep.
And so I moved my family uh, down from there. I had a little boy while I was working at Disney, and I was working at that studio for a while, and I was on my way back out to work freelance in Ontario because uh, there Helix isn't there anymore,
Okay.
and so some of the work that was coming in, there was gaps in between, and that. But while I was working at Disney, I would often go out and pick up freelance jobs, working on commercials. So I worked on commercials like Kellogg's Milk Crunch and um, Popeyes for like soup and Polly Pocket and things like that.
Yeah.
And so I was on my way back out, but NBCC had a need for an additional class. They had a group of students that really needed a little extra training, I guess.
Yeah.
So there was a 3-month program, and that's all I was there for, just to take care of this group of students. And like it really went well. After the end of that 3 months, I thought, I really loved that. Like, I loved teaching because it was an opportunity for me to learn too, and the learning and like sharing the knowledge that I had. Like there was so much enthusiasm that the students were showing towards me, and so I thought it would be, something for me. And I've had an amazing career at NBCC, and in my early years at NBCC, when I first started, we received a certificate. Or sorry, we were recognized for program excellence. So, and that was in 2003. I started there around 2000, and it was kind of during the transition between Helix and going back. But because I left Sheridan before I had received my diploma, I had no diploma, so I needed that. So my first graduating class, I got my NBCC diploma 2 months before my class.
Okay. 2 months before your first class, you got your diploma.
My diploma,
Okay.
yeah, the same diploma my students were getting.
Yeah.
My first graduating year, and
That's amazing.
yeah, I got it through prior learning assessment review, PLAR. So but I needed that in order to go through my IDP and that. We had an amazing department head at the time. His name was Ken Frost, and Ken, when he brought me in and to ask me about my diploma, I was a little nervous because I thought, but no, he recognized that the need for that, and then he helped me to get it, and they were gonna just sign off on some of the different parts that I had to challenge.
Yeah.
But I insisted on taking a test for each of them because I wanted to do the work for each of them just to show it. So each of the instructors gave me like a final exam type thing that I had to complete and get signed off on, and so it was a great experience, and I was also encouraged to take part in as many different teaching type training programs that I could. And there was one in particular. It was called the Great Teacher Seminar, and they asked me to go to this, and so I agreed to go, and it was in Memricook, and I drove around the building 3 or 4 times because I was so nervous, because I had to present some of my work to instructors and get it looked at, and at the time I wasn't sure what that process would be like. So I met a plumber, an electrician, and a carpenter in the parking lot, and they felt the same way that I did. So we got talking, and we got the courage up to go in, and it was such a nice experience sharing. It was really good. And then uh, I was invited back 2 years in a row as a facilitator for the Great Teacher Seminar. So they pick some, like, you get vote, they vote on that, and
Okay.
so it was a big deal for me, just, in my real early years, to do things like that. So um, yeah, I is
Yeah, that's amazing. You beside your animation skill and the talent and everything that you have, you are also a great storyteller. I'm just like sitting here listening, just like enjoying it. And at the same
thank you.
time we started, I'll keep looking at those books that you brought us. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that? And I have a list also here about the animations when you were working with you were involved with the Walt Disney.
Okay.
So I think kind of tell me about that. What were the animation you were working at?
Okay, this is a little.
That one is your camera.
Okay,
I'm sure.
this is called Behind the Magic, and it was something that was given to all of the animators that were working on the production, Beauty and the Beast: The Enchanted Christmas, and that
Do you think
was.
can we have a pictures also to show to?
Oh,
Yeah, so we
absolutely,
will add the production.
absolutely, yeah. And so I brought it in because like, I thought you might be interested in seeing how it's done. Like,
Yeah.
some of the, and these are a lot of the characters that I got to work on. This was Angelique, and um, you can see some backgrounds and lots of different types of different parts of the production.
Look at that.
Okay, yeah, and there I met so many amazing people that were so willing to share, that it was really my first teaching experience in a way,
Okay.
because a lot of the values that I took from my learning experience at Disney, I like to share with my students. And one thing, while I was at Disney, I felt like I belonged, and
That's the thing.
the feel like you belong is important. And we felt like it was like a family. And when you're working on an animated film, it has to be a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Every part of the process is connected, and it's in the pipeline. Everything that you do has to uh, be done well enough so that it uh, is helping the next person.
Yes.
So everybody has to communicate along the way, and with that, everybody helps each other. Like, when I was working on character Triton and Little Mermaid, it was the sequel to Little Mermaid, and Triton was not as much of a like cartoony looking character. Belle was another challenging character for me on this Beauty and the Beast: Enchanted Christmas, but Triton, he uh, the drawings of Triton were, I felt they were way beyond my my tool set, but uh, the um, the team that we had were so helpful in terms of training and making sure that you knew how to draw the characters, because it had to look like everybody worked on the same sort of character, like,
Right.
and drew the same way, like, um yeah, so that was good. And I probably going on to.
No, it's all right. I was just
Sorry.
enjoying. I was keep thinking we should even start
I
making the
know
videos longer because I don't care. I personally, I was now when I said for the first time I want this start with 30 minutes,
yeah,
but I feel like this podcast has to be going this way, going on to the conversation going. It is hard and it is you're talking and I'm enjoying listening to it. I
Yeah.
just like don't want to even go to the next questions.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. Like beside like that, these books that I'm so appreciate that you brought it. If you will take some pictures and show it on
Yeah.
the on that looks amazing.
Yeah, those are.
And
Right.
about your T-shirt, your shirt that you have it today. So each week, the purpose of this podcast, each week you are trying to also support, help, advertise totally for free for a company that is local or even is Canadian, and we can help them to grow with our own media, the very best podcast. So that's why the first week or second guest, he had Sean McCarthy here, that was co-founder of the Character Matters Miramichi. He's a historian. We had him here. We really loved. He was also wearing his shirt, the Character
Yeah.
Matters. So I'm really glad that you two
Yeah.
have this shirt. Do you want to tell me about that company?
I certainly do, and thank you very much for the opportunity to do that. And I like to say I do know Sean, and he's yeah, like full of knowledge too. Like yeah. So yeah. So this is a Make My Own Movies production. So it's Mum Productions, and we coming up with names and things like that for a company. You think about who gives you your inspiration in that. Yeah, who's the first one that'll take your artwork and stick it on the fridge when things like and then I kind of thought, is there some way to incorporate that into uh, a logo and tie it into movies? And then I thought, make my own movies productions and stuff. And one of the people that works with me too designed this, Alberto, and squared up, and he did a great job. We had fun with that, and this is like where ideas are born, and imagination. And
I love the meaning and the story behind it. Look, I love always to hearing like Pepsi, Coca-Cola, and all big brands. They have a really cool story behind it.
Yeah,
you have it too. It's amazing. It's just cool.
My mom loved it.
Yeah, that's right.
And the movie's like a baby.
Yeah.
Or bring it on.
Ask me, mama.
It's so nice.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, and so the purpose of starting up this company too was to help to create a solution. It's been a dream of mine my whole life to someday, have a company and that too. And I've been inspired to do that by a friend of mine, Gene Fowler, who has a studio, Luguru, here in the Miramichi. And Gene's such a good guy. Like he, and anytime I need help or advice, like Gene, I can count on him. Like he's a good guy. And
I'm pretty sure you also have a lot of like a student that they are involved with a lot of like blockbuster films, and they have their own studio already after graduation.
Oh yes,
right?
Yeah. Oh, I like to tell this story because I took my kids to see the Smurfs: The Lost Village, and while we were watching the movie, I like to stay for the credits, and it said supervising animator Matt Shepard, and I thought, Matt Shepard, wow! Like I had a student, Matt Shepard, so I thought, I wonder if it's him. So I reached out, and sure enough, one of my students from when I first started teaching went on to work on work for Sony and did great things, and many others too. And that's one of teaching's greatest like rewards, to help start somebody on their journey, and have them exceed what you've done, like, and keep going like that. That's and then now it since he specialized in different areas like 3D, for example, I reached out to him to see how did you bridge the gap between 3D animation and 2D animation. Right. And he said that I still consider myself a 2D animator because of the that foundation that he has with the animation principles that he learned, and um, he applied it. But he also said that making the transition from 2D to 3D was easy because he had learned Toon Boom, and
Right.
and using Toon Boom it's like a a tool that is being recognized now as the industry standard, and um, so going from that into using Maya was a piece of cake for him.
Right.
So yeah, so that was that was something that was really important. But Mum Productions, one thing that I like there with there's always going to be areas that can be improved, and one thing the in New Brunswick, it's a tough industry in New Brunswick,
Yeah.
but we want to change that and help to grow the industry here, and provide more jobs for our students. And one of my goals was to help international students that are coming here, bringing all this talent to New Brunswick, and
Yeah.
how can we keep them here? We
That's kind of my point. We had the same conversation when we were at the Adonihus. I'm sorry that I stopped you over there because I had that point writing here, and I saw I had a lot of like more question which is kind of related to that, and that company, how this mom company is gonna be really helpful for the community of the Miramichi and the New Brunswick, not only attract more students to the New Brunswick, talented student, but also how we can keep them here. But I think all of these together can be a great another episode that we can have a chat if you be willing to join us for one more time in this podcast.
Oh, I'd be happy to.
Yeah, that will be amazing
This
to.
this was fun.
Yeah. So
This is the first podcast that I've ever been on,
really,
and it was the very best.
the very best one, yeah. That's actually it's amazing.
Yeah, it is lucky. Yeah, yeah.
So I really love to because this is very important. Like whoever are in this industry, like subscribe or YouTube because we are gonna have you again for more time to go over that uh the company that you are starting and how it's gonna help students and in a big scale. And that will be a really good topic actually. If you want to name someone in this podcast that you would love to we invite him or her to this podcast, who that would be?
Well,
Would be.
there's a lot of there's a lot of people that I would suggest.
Yeah, sure. One person we can invite to send
Well,
the invitation. I will send it.
okay. Well, there's a person that I find to be actually an amazing teacher, and that's Eddie Morrison. And he's I've been taking some music lessons from Eddie Morrison, and
Is he based in Miramichi?
he's based in Miramichi, and he's a painter, and he
Okay.
does things like that. So, but just in case he's not interested, I would also like to suggest Terry Matthews,
Okay.
and Terry Matthews is part of the Miramichi Arts Corps, and so if you meet with Terry, that could like open up all kinds of opportunities for you to meet other artists that are working in Miramichi,
Of course.
that are part of the Miramichi
Yeah,
Art
that's
Art
amazing.
Corps.
Yeah, you name them, we will invite them. So it's amazing. It would be my pleasure to have them for sure. We will send the invitation letter. I will get their contact if you have them, and I will definitely invite them to have here. My background was I studied Master of Architecture while I was in Iran, and when I came here, I changed the course and career to electrical, and that art that you are talking about, it was part of my life. It started to my father was an architect. I have
Oh, and that's
other
awesome.
older brother, they were both architect. So when I went through this career
Yeah.
pathway was just easy going. It was everything ready. I had all the advice and everything. So it's I really respect to art, and I love to get back to those days one day. And thank you for those names.
Thank
Another like part of this podcast, we having a gift exchange. So we have a gift for you. Another local business that I would love to like put it on a spotlight of this podcast is the if you every Saturdays at the Chatham Farmers Market,
Yeah.
there's a lady. If you go there, laser printing on the piece of wood.
Oh, that's nice.
You can also give your own design, and it will print it for you.
Yeah.
And that's as a memory and appreciation for you that you join our podcast. The very best.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, of
I
course.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the very best.
The
Yeah,
very
isn't
best.
that nice? Isn't that nice? Yeah, that's
Have come
great.
to the bridge.
Yeah, and it's the bridge too. Like, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and here's a another. I'm planning to I was going to bring in a blank canvas actually,
Yeah.
and so that I could do a painting just for this. But here
We can accept that even later because
Yeah.
that's also we are receiving these gifts
Yeah.
from our guests, and all of these gifts will go to the exhibition of the very best. And at the end of the year, we will put them on auction and we will sell them to help back to the community whoever need it.
nice.
We are trying to see what would be the challenge during those time. We will have some conversation with the people. Like last week, we had Crystal here. She's working at the NBCC as the student
Yeah.
life officer. She's a big uh, fundraiser person that she knows all of this. Probably we should get some advice from her who would need help, and we will send all of those money to that charity or not for profit or the people who needs those money. So we can wait. You don't need to like give us right now.
Oh, yeah.
I will wait. I would love to see that painting.
Yeah.
Where we put the pictures.
I
for
I would
sure.
be
Our social channel.
Add a load of that.
I would be happy.
Yeah, that
to
would
do
be
that.
very
Yeah.
expensive
Yeah.
in our auction with
Yeah.
your painting.
Nice.
Very nice.
Oh, thank you. And this is something that here too that I'll leave with you. It's Riley Can Do Big Things, and it was written by Janet Lewis Daigle, and she works for NBCC, and she is a counselor, and she is so full of kindness and like stories
Yeah.
and she was telling me about one of her stories, and then I helped her illustrate her first book, and
Nice.
it's called Riley Does Big Things, and she it actually got an award for excellence in children's literature in that too. So, and it's about bullies, and so this is one like the
Oh,
characters in the book, and
yeah, that's amazing. I would definitely
yeah, so
share some of the pictures.
yeah, Riley does big things there and stuff too.
That's amazing. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
you're welcome, and
Appreciate
I
it.
think I'll take that out of there because it was a
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So we can go a little bit further to the fun part of this podcast, which is, I'm Iranian. I need to, we are doing a Canadian podcast, but I'm Iranian, so I need to bring this up. There are a lot of Iranians doing the same scenario. So the challenge is, the challenge is, I will give you the Persian phrase or idiom, and I will give you also the translated version of it.
Okay.
You're gonna guess what's the actual meaning behind it. So today's Persian word is zahre mar. It means snake poison.
Snake poison.
Yeah. What do you think zahre mar means in Persian, like in English or Persian?
Okay.
Zahre mar. Do you want to repeat that? Zahre mar.
Mar, and it translates into
Snake poison.
snake poison, but that's not what it means in Persian.
No,
No.
it means something else.
Uh,
Yeah, it has a definition.
yeah. Zah.
Zahre Mar.
Rimar?
Yeah, that's
Uh,
it. Good job.
Rimar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like kind of really nice word, but
It's not a nice word?
no, it's not.
Okay.
It's what
Sa
but you can guess what
Za
thing
Rimar? Snake poison.
poison.
Uh, is it, hmm, wouldn't be whiskey.
No.
Because
Maybe kind of, you know what? Because
is it alcohol?
no,
Well,
it's
booze?
not. But it's a definition. It's an idiom. For example, I'm drinking this whiskey. For example, it's not whiskey, but I'm drinking this whiskey. And I'm saying it tastes like Zahremar. It tastes like a. It tastes like not good. It tastes not. It tastes horrible. Or yeah, it means like that. It tastes Zahremar. It tastes not good.
Oh,
It means
okay.
that. Yeah, it's kind
That-
of related to that
Oh,
whiskey.
okay.
is it?
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
So this the word you picked for me?
Yeah, snake
Yeah.
poison.
Snake poison.
Yeah, the next time you eat something you don't like it, you taste
yeah.
like
Well,
that.
you know, now I'm not sure. Yeah. Oh, this just water. It's no Zaith Rimor.
Zahre Mar.
Za Rimor. Za Rimor.
Zahre Mar.
Za Rimor.
Mar means snake. Zah
Yeah.
means the poison.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Thank you.
yeah, it's
For
like
sharing that.
end of our podcast.
I love learning
really-
new words and stuff too. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
Zah
hearing
Mar,
that
same.
You're listening. You're learning Latino, Spanish.
Spanish. Yeah.
Spanish.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, and it's nice because it helps me connect with students as well too. And you know, we have so many newcomers come into the Miramichi too, and I think it's nice that you know that we welcome people, and I'm sure people in Miramichi
It
like
brightens our
it
day.
yeah it does yeah
It's amazing.
yeah
But as I said, we are gonna have a lot of topics to talk about, especially uh, having a topic about the how the AI is gonna be affected your industry and how you are gonna use AI in your career as a teacher or as a animator and any other topics that might help other student or the people who want to come in this industry. But I got the your I'm saying I'm inviting right now for give me a
Okay,
future
sure,
for
yeah,
again to have
yeah.
this conversation.
yeah.
So it's end of our podcast. Would you have any last statement you want to share with us? What do you think about this project that you are going, or any last statement you like?
I think this is great because um, I really enjoyed the opportunity to take part in the very best podcast, and I really think that what you're planning to do to help, you know, to do something meaningful for the community, and that works really well. And one of the things that I think that we all need, we everybody needs to feel like they belong, right?
Exactly.
And
That's the
and you everyone that's coming here to the province, we want to keep them here.
exactly.
You know, you're bringing so much talent,
Mhm.
and it's important. And one thing about things that don't belong, uh, sometimes they become emphatic,
Mhm.
but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because in art, the thing that's emphatic draws the most attention too. You know, and the things that and sometimes the things that seem like they don't belong sometimes,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
are the gem, right?
Yes.
The gem,
I
and that
agree.
too. And I feel like that's important, that we really create a sense of belonging in the community, and that should help us when we're putting together a company like Mom. That's one of our values. We want to create a sense of belonging
Yeah.
and bring other companies together too. Like not compete, but bring work here, and
Right.
yeah. So
That's amazing. Great statement for the finishing this podcast.
okay,
We're
thank you.
gonna next week. They should have really watched the next episode, because next week we're gonna have a very important guest. I'm not gonna say who is that, but we can have a lot of good conversation regarding to this, that how we can keep more people, talented people right here, not only in Miramichi but also in the New Brunswick. And yeah, thank you so much
Well,
again for
thank you, and
coming, and we had a really great
yeah.
conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And thank you, and mucho gracias, and que te vaya bien.
Yeah. I don't know what does it mean, but I'm Persian.
Yeah, Alex can help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said that he wished you well.
Thank you so much. The
Yeah.
best.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that was a great conversation. I loved it.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're done.
Okay.
You have some. You're gonna have some photography, taking some pictures with the very best sign. And
Yeah, I'm gonna go have some how do you say it again? Some snake
Zahramar.
Zahramar. Yeah,
Zahramar.
I'm gonna go have a bottle of Zahramar.
Bottle of
Yeah.
If you like today's episode, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, please.